this one race, we were hanging out in Chantilly, Virginia. It was on Route 28, and these two guys were trying to get a race together, and it was a Spanish guy with a Supra with a gigantic turbo. It was like a T100 sticking out of the top of the hood. He wanted to race a Mustang, and me and a friend of mine named Brian were there, and he had a Civic. It was a pretty fast car. The Spanish dude wanted to race 3 wide, and I told him he had seen too much of Fast and the Furious, and it was stupid, but it was the only way he would race. So we worked it out with the dudes in the Mustang that if either one of us won, that we would just give each other the money back. So Brian looks at me and he's like, "Do you want to put the slicks on?" I said, "You might have a shot." I mean, the Mustang's spraying, the turbo, the Supra's got a big turbo on a street tire. The Mustang had a drag radial, and so you know, we might have a shot. I was in the passenger seat, and we schooled them out of the hole, put about 5 cars on each of them. I looked over to my right, and the Mustang got beside us. I said, "I think he's on the kit." And he put a few cars on us, and the Supra was nowhere to be found. And into the quarter mile, Brian was about 4 cars behind the Mustang. The Supra come by us, it seemed like 200 miles an hour because he was just, I guess he finally got it hooked up. That's kind of an odd race. We've got an all-motor Honda, a V8 with a 200 shot of nitrous and a 6-cylinder on a street tire. I think that's kind of an odd combination of 3 cars to race, but every city in the country has a spot like that. That was one of our spots. We had that, we had Route 50, had V Street, and even a spot like this is, I would say many a race got clicked off right here. That's where we're at, and we're here today just talking about spots. I'm Squirrel, and welcome back to Keyboard Commandos, Episode 2. This week in the Mountain Empire, we've survived another NASCAR race. Brad Keselowski was the winner. So a big boogity, 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 Rubbin's racing, and if you ain't first, you're last. To him. Also this month, March 31st, street fights begin. Cruise-In starts the 1st of April. Kentucky Horsepower Shootout is April 1st. ADRL is coming next month also. Man, but when they did that, I was like, wait a minute, you got the best track in the country. I mean, the one that everybody wants to go to, and then, oh, let's change it. Let's make the banks progressive so they can have, and then there's no action. It's a bunch of crap. So what would you have done? Huh? What would you have done? What would I have done? I would have left it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And now let's go to the good doctor with his diagnosis of the scene last week.
Set against the backdrop of Holston Mountain, this past weekend Bristol Motor Speedway was the center of the universe for professional motorsports. Crews were busy preparing the vendor midways, rows of modern-day outhouses, and getting set for the onslaught of racing fans that would triple Bristol's population for the weekend. T-shirts, coffee mugs, lighters, koozies, and every conceivable type of merchandise and concessions are made available to the fans as they make their trek from the many campgrounds to the track. Entering the gates, you start to get a feel for the vastness of the track property. The grandstands demand your attention with their epic scale, twice that of most football stadiums. Battalions of huge rigs decorated as rolling billboards for sponsors are congregated in a huge parking lot. yet there is still plenty of open space. Everywhere you look, you'll find huge logos of the many supporting companies, all vying for your attention. Far removed from only a decade ago when the staff worked out of tiny mobile offices, now ticket sales, the track souvenir shop, and the BMS offices are found in the stately Bruton Smith building. While we make another trek across the property, you'll find the main midway, where there is yet another battalion of big rigs. These contain the official merchandise of the drivers of NASCAR. The Commandos stopped to polish on their production skills, making use of an iconic backdrop.
Here we are at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Coliseum of racing. 180,000 fans ready to invade.
As we round the track outside of Turn 2, we find the Media Village, base camp to the national broadcasters who are here to cover the weekend's events. Next is the manufacturer's midway, where companies set up promotional displays to showcase their products to the fans. One of the world's premier drag strips, Thunder Valley, yielded to play host to the NASCAR campers. Empty grandstands loom over pit stalls normally used by racers from John Force to the grassroots gearheads, now occupied by fans to which NASCAR has gone to great lengths to present their package to.
The Bristol property is so immense, the only way to really get around good is on a golf cart. The only place I've really been to that's bigger is Charlotte. Yeah, the stock car fans, campers are defacing the drag strip by parking on it.
While sanctioning bodies like NASCAR and NHRA are packaging the pro teams, who is there to shine a little spotlight on the average Joe and grow the American tradition of racing? While at base seem like the little guy's been forgotten, and the gap between the upper and lower tiers of racing is ever increasing, a community of grassroots racers has taken to task putting together a package to convey the passion and enthusiasm of the racer and the dedication to compete instead of exploiting the lifestyle. So while they compare this event to gladiators battling in coliseums, that would make us the Spartans making a stand in the valley, Thunder Valley.
Well, looks like Mother Nature's put a hamper on our filming, so we're going back to the headquarters.
While the top dogs seem to be focusing on filet mignon for a few, we hope to fire up the grill with burgers for everyone.
Thanks, Doc. That sounds like the cure for our winter blues. Now we're going to shoot over to the admin for our commando report.
I don't have much. None of it's new. It could all use a little work, but it's mine, and it's what I've got to work with. I got a miscellaneous pile of old parts, my toolbox, some friends, and I somehow managed to hold on to my hot rod, though it's seen better days. Seeing it stashed in the corner of my barn usually takes me back, remembering my first spots. Now, if you take a trip down your own memory lane, I'm sure you've got a spot or two of your own. We all hear the guys remembering the glory days. Well, where are we now? This summer we're going to take a look at the grassroots of one of the greenest fields out there. While back in the day, most of the stories of racing were told when buddies were at the garage while the shop radio played in the background. Today in 2012, I've got a little website where the entire empire can virtually hang out in my barn from wherever they are. This year we picked up some new tools to step things up a notch, providing a better view for the world to see the inside perspective of the auto culture, the scenes, and the spots of the Mountain Empire. Today we talked about spots. In the next blog we'll start looking at the scene and the players. Now I have to get back to my keyboard. I've got night watch, keeping the internet flamers in check. I'm showing you some of the package that comes together around the drivers chasing in circles with their so-called stock cars. So I'm going to leave you with a peek where the outlaws and the bootleggers come together to put them in the beams.
So thanks for joining us for episode 2. The next time you see us, we should have some live action shots from the racetrack at the street fights, and we should probably get downtown to the Cruise Inn in Elizabethton. Pow! Get out of the shot, Daryl! Oh, Kenny Bernstein?
Bernstein,
Oh.
man.
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastards! If there's like a freaking dragon apocalypse, he's on it. But it's a sword. He's gonna slay a dragon. This is the best stuff, man. The rest of it sucks. The outtakes are what's hot.
We need a telethon.
You're gonna slay a dragon with your sword. Party on, Garth. Party on, Wing. But anyway, it's a freaking sword. What movie was that from? It's a whole game. What's your secret? Thanks, Mega Shake. Shazam. Dale, step into my office because you're fired.
Let's do it.
All right.
The winds calm down. Even Bristol drag.
7.2 megapixels, and it's the biggest browser that money can buy right now. In other news, we just finished up the big NASCAR race here, and Brad Keselowski won the number 2 car. I guess he dropped the deuce. I'm just kidding. Let's start over. And what else was I supposed to say? Did I mention I hate this? Time is money. A big boogity, boogity, boogity. Rubbin's racing. If you ain't first, you're last. And all that crap. Hold on. This weekend in the Mountain Empire, we survived another NASCAR race. So cool. Slurpees for people to sip on. On the next episode, we should have some live action. We'll all be getting together and racing and stuff. There's a motorcycle coming. Completely screwed the whole thing up.
Bristol Dragway.
the home of the birthplace of
I'm trying to focus here.
Girl needs a tail fluff.
Oh, dude. Stop, dude. We don't want to talk about that.
Bart, we need you up here.
I think I threw up in my mouth.
I'm gonna rip your beard out.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Strongest beard in the world. Lift cars with that. When I work on it, I'm like,
I'm gonna be a keyboard commando.
You're gonna be mincemeat in like 2 seconds.
You think you're all that.
I'm not all that. I'm not. But I can take you, and that's all that matters.
You can't catch me.
I could catch you. Thanks for joining us for episode 2. Should have some live action next week or so.
Look, I'll double your contract.
Oh. Yeah, naught times naught is naught. I'm a double naught spy. Yeah, Warman's likes that. Warman's like, get some party liquor. Warman's likes that. Talk real soft to him. Like, show me your boobies. Yeah, Warman's likes that. I whisper something in her ear. We should have some live action on scene with the car show and the street fights. Whoa! Oh, it's a new car! So thanks for joining us for episode 2. The next time you see us, that little boy's probably not going to be here. Yeah, because nobody can annoy me like my kids. Okay, thanks. I'm a chicken, and you're a chicken hawk. Or no, I'm a chicken hawk, and you're a chicken. Boy. Billy. She might grab that sword. She may grab the sword and think I'm a dragon and slay me. You got horns? What'd you hear? It was not real. No, it's a hot rod. I can explain the difference if you'd like. Oh, Comic-Con. Oh, it just gets gayer by the minute. Comic-Con. Did you say Nerdy Edition? Yeah, I did. Gold foil Comic-Con edition. This means that you have no life. You spend your life in your parents' basement. See? This is what happens to you. Don't read this. Read nudie books. Give me my pink slip. Okay, bald bastard. That was just a joke, man. I watched that show. I apologize, Rich Christensen. Okay. Yeah. I'm not getting paid to call him a gay bald bastard. No. I did it because I said I'd do you a favor and I didn't know it was going to go this far. It's gone far enough, thank you. What's it pay? Well, I heard you were making all the money off the backs of the racers. Then I heard another story.
Which one was that?
I can't tell it outside of school. I can't tell tales outside of school.